Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everybody. My name is Muhammad Nibra Saputra. I'm from the second group of this grammar lesson. And today videos I will convey you about noun and noun phrase. Let's just jump right in. Okay. Noun and noun phrase. Introductory survey. First, I will tell you about the definition, function, distinctive properties of prototypic typical noun, and subclause of noun. And the second, I will tell you the noun first, function, form, types of dependent, nominals, internal and external dependence. Okay, what is noun? Noun is a grammatically distinct category of words which includes thus denoting all kind of physical objects such as person, animals, and inanimate objects. The noun category includes words denoting all kind of physical objects such as people, animal, place, and things. Next, distinctive properties and prototypical nouns. First is inflection. Noun typically for number, singular or plural, and case, plain or genitive. We can see the examples, the following examples, like plain case, in the singular is student and the plural is students, but in genitive case the singular is students with comma up and the plural is students with the comma up as well. And the function is nouns fill the head position in noun phrase. Next, dependent. There are various kinds of dependent that occur exclusively or almost exclusively with noun as a head. A. Certain determinative. You can see the example: the door, a year, and every book. So the certain determinative is the, and a, and every, and B, pre-head adjective, like young children and a big dog. A young is the pre-head adjective. It's make the sentence is more specific, like young children or a big dog, a small dog, and the C relative clause. The example is the guy who fainted. The relative clause is who fainted. And next, subclass of noun. There are three major subclass of noun. First is pronoun. I, me, mine, myself, you, she, and it. And two is proper nouns, like Kim, Jones, Beethoven, Boston, and others. And the last is common nouns, like cat, day, car, window, fact, and truth. Next, it's noun phrase. What is noun phrase? Noun phrase is a word or group of words that function in a sentence as subject, object, or prepositional object. Function and form. The main function is, there are four main functions. In clause structure, there are three things in clause structure, like subject, object, and predicative complement. And in PP structure or prepositional phrase structure, there are complement. You can see the following example. The subject is a student. In the object is a student, but in the last sentence. And predicative complement is like she is a student. And in the complement, we were talking to a student. The underlined word is the complement. And second is form. A typical noun phrase consists of noun serving as head word and possibly various accompanying dependents. And next, types of dependent. Dependents in the structure of the noun phrase are of three main types. First is determiner. Like the example is the news appear some cheese. And the second is complement, like the loss of blood, ban of smoking. And the last is modifier. Example is a young woman, a friend from Boston. And next, nominals. In clause structure, we recognize a unit intermediate between the clause and verb, namely the verb phrase. In the same way, we recognize a unit intermediate between the noun phrase and the noun, which we call a nominal. You can see the following example in this picture. The guy who fainted. Determiner is the head nominal is head noun, guy, modifier, which is relative clause, who fainted, and the next following is determiner is a head nominal consists of modifier adjective and head noun, young woman. It makes more specific. And next, internal and external dependence. Dependence in the structure of the noun phrase may be distinguished as internal or external according they fall inside or outside the head nominals. There are three things. First is complement, is internal. The example is knowledge of Latin. The next is the determiner. External is external. Example is this old paper. The determiner is this. And the last thing is modifier. There are two things, is internal and external. In internal, you can see the example is the book I'm reading. And external is almost the only survivor. You can see the underlined word is the define the internal and external. Okay, the last thing is the example of noun phrase. First is determiner plus noun, like my family like to eat brownies. The second is determiner plus adjective plus noun, my shiny hair is so long. The next is determiner plus adjective plus noun plus prepositional phrase. The big boy in the house. The is determiner, big is adjective, boy is a noun, and in the house is the prepositional phrase. And the last is determiners plus adjective plus noun plus prepositional phrase and relative clause. The tall girl in the school who likes to wear pink clothes. The is determiner, tall is adjective, girl is noun, in the school is prepositional phrase, and who likes to wear pink clothes is relative clause. Okay, thank you for this opportunity. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, I hope you always healthy and happy. Okay, here I wanna explain for you. I'm going to explain for you the material under the title Noun and Noun Phrases about number and countability. Okay, here we go. What is a number? Number is the name of the system contrasting singular and plural. Okay, number and countability consists of three parts. Number one is nouns with fixed number. Nouns with fixed number consists of two parts. Singular only nouns, example book, table, car, and then economics, semantics, mathematics. Why singular economics is a plural? Is a singular ending by s, but there are ending by s, but not plural marker. So every science is a singular nouns, like economics, semantics. So every science ending by s. Okay, here and plural only nouns. Example books, sandals, and shoes. Farmer, bacteria. Haven't plurality marker, but we have syntactically as plurals. So although farmer and bacteria have not ending by s, not ending by s, I mean, farmer and bacteria are from plural. And then number two is count and non-count nouns. There are three parts. Non-count noun, they are invariably singular. Example, count noun, the house, one house and two houses. Singular with determiner the, and then singular, one house singular with numerally, and then two houses with one house singular with numeral one, and then two houses plural with numerals. And also with non-count noun, the happiness singular with determiner the, one happiness, three happiness. Why about this word? Because this sentence, because one happiness and three happiness cannot combine with numeral. Okay, next with non-count nouns that are invariably plural. Count noun, example, count noun, two corpses, one corpses, two corpses. And also with non-count noun, there remains, one remain and two remains. Like non-count noun and invariably singular, one remains and two remains can combine with numeral, I mean. Okay, and then nouns with count and non-count uses. There are count interpretation. Example, I have a pie, I read your book. Non-count interpretation, do you have some pie, and I need to read your book tomorrow. Okay, next. Subject-verb agreement. There are three parts. Measure expression, quantificational nouns, and collective nouns. And there is an additional part. Any, no, none, either, and neither. Here I give you an example. None of the options was good. None of the questions were bad. Any one of you looks tired, and any one of you look tired. That's all enough for me. I apologize if you find mistakes for me. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Back with me again. But right now I will tell you about the noun phrase, about determiner and determinative. Okay, let's start. Noun and noun phrase, determiner and determinative. There are four things that I will tell you. That is introduction, definition, function, and B is definiteness, definite and indefinite article. C, article with plural, which determiner are definite, indefinite. And the last is determinative. Determinative phrase and determinative as modifier. Okay, the first is the introduction, definition and function on noun phrase. A determiner, also called determinative, abbreviate that is a word, phrase, or affix that occur together with a noun or noun phrase and serve to express the reference of that noun or noun phrase in the context. The determiner function in a noun phrase is usually filled by one of two kinds of expression. In all the examples so far, it has been a determiner, and some of these can be accompanied by their own modifiers, making a determinative phrase abbreviate DP. In addition, the determiner may have it from genitive noun phrase, have the form of genitive phrase. Examples with the determiner underlined. The determinative, the city, some rotten eggs. The determinative is the and some, and is DP. Determinative phrase. Almost all politicians, very few new books. The DP is almost all and very few. And the last thing is genitive noun phrase. Example is her income, the Snyder young son. The genitive NP is her and the Snyders. Next, divinites. Divinites and indefinite article. Definite article. What is meant by definite here can best be understood by looking at some examples containing the definite article. Example is, first, the President of France has appointed a new Prime Minister. The second is, where did you put the key? The definite article is the and the. The indicates that the head of the NP is considered sufficient in the context to identify the referent. Next is indefinite article. The indefinite article does not indicate that the description in the head is defining. The description is not present as unique in the context. Example is, a cabinet minister has been arrested. I'll give you a key. And the indefinite article is the A, the underlined word. Connects article with plural NP. Which determiner are definite or indefinite. Apart from the interrogative, all the indefinite markers have to do with the quantification. Among the definite markers, all and both are also quantificational, but illustrate the special case of quantification that involves totally. This and that are unique among the determinative in they inflect for number. I in agreement with the head noun compare this book and this book, that day and those days. Okay, you can see the following example of definite and indefinite. Indefinite is the, this, that, all, both, relative, which, whichever, and whatever. And indefinite is a, each, every, some, any, either, neither, no, another, a few, a little, several, many, much, more, most, few, fewer, little, less, enough, sufficient, interrogative, which, whichever, what, whatever, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and other. And next is determinative. Determinative phrase and determinative as modifier. Okay, you can see determinative as modifier is it should be borne in mind that although determinative are a class of words that most commonly function as determiner. Example, determiner is the younger son has died. Who's that tall guy over there? Many people were offended. And the determiner is the, that, and many. And next modifier. I feel all the better for my holiday. He shouldn't have driven that fast. He lists its many failings. And the modifier is the, that, and many. And next is determinative phrase. A number of the quantificational determinative accept dependent of their own. A determinative with dependent function as the head of phrase, which we call a determinative phrase or DP. Example is A. Not many people turned up. Almost every copy was torn. And the last is some 30 paintings were stolen. The determinative phrase is not many, almost every, and some 30. Okay, I think it's enough for me. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.